Avatar: The Last Airbender is the latest adaptation of the hugely popular Nickelodeon series. So today, let's see if this Netflix series is worth your time. Hey everybody, my name's Justin here. I try to watch everything that hits theaters and on streaming services like Netflix. If you guys are like me, go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below and click that bell notification for more up and coming content. A young boy known as the Avatar must master the 4 elemental powers to save a world at war and fight a ruthless enemy bent on stopping him. As someone who has not watched a lot of Avatar, I didn't watch it growing up. I just recently started watching the series and only got through about 20 episodes before watching this Netflix animated series. I saw the M. Night Shyamalan film when it was released, didn't care much for that movie, and so going into this series, I don't have the most background knowledge on the series, but what we get with the 8 episodes, I did recognize with the episodes I did see on, which were available on Netflix, the animated series. So at least I was aware of the characters, the story arcs that were in this new live action series. I was very hesitant going into it because I didn't really like that M. Night Shyamalan film. I was curious to see how they would adapt it into a live action series, as Netflix has before taken some other popular animated series or manga series and adapted them to live action movie or show, and it just hasn't turned out the best for them. That's not the case for this series. I really liked Avatar: The Last Airbender, and it really did manage to capture the feel of the animated series in such an exciting, very serious way as well. This 8-episode series is restructured a bit differently. Certain episodes come earlier on in this Netflix series, and some of them are introduced in just different ways. But the way that they do it, it builds the urgency of the Avatar Aang within the series really early on. You understand his purpose. You understand that he has been gone for 100 years and the Fire Nation is trying to attack and take control, and it is up to Aang to stop them and save the world. And that's where we also meet Sokka and Katara, brother and sister, who also join him on his journey. We really start the urgency surrounding the Fire Nation against Aang very early on, as we did in the animated series as well. But when it's restructured a little bit differently, you get a lot of personal development for Aang very early on, so it really feels like it's focused on him. And you see his purpose, you see his mission that he has to go on, and what he needs to accomplish along the way. And then when we have Sokka and Katara join the adventure, you just only build on that urgency surrounding the whole storyline with the Fire Nation and water bending and air bending, and he's been gone for 100 years. I really like how they did restructure it. Now, all the episodes I did see for the animated series, I really did like, and I like how it was nicely paced out. But with that animated series, you did have a lot of side adventures that did build that friendship and the fun entertainment of that series. But with this live action series, you're really just honing in on the urgency with the Fire Nation and him needing to master the 4 elements. And so with that restructure, you do get to the more personal story arcs and some of the bigger moments for these characters quicker than you did with the animated series. Visually, it looks really good. I like how it did manage to capture the costume designs, the action, the fun of explored water bending from Katara, and watching Aang with his airbending skills. The visuals are really good. At times the green screen is a little bit noticeable, but I was impressed with how big this series did feel. I loved all of the action scenes involving the fire bending and all of the water bending skills as well. and the sky bison. There's a lot of cool visuals in here, and it adds to a lot of great action scenes. It does not skip on the action. You have a lot of development for our characters, but you also get a lot of action with the Fire Nation trying to attack and find Aang. So visually, it's a very appealing series. That is, like I said, it is noticeable at times with some of the green screen, but it's easy to overlook that and look at all of the cool visuals along the way. The characters in here are still very likable, and there's enough development for all of them to where they get a lot of personality to these characters. Aang is going through this journey of understanding what it takes to be an avatar. Sokka is a character that is trying to live up to his father's expectations and protect his sister Katara, who has these water bending skills. She believes in doing the right thing and helping Aang, and seeing that there is the threat of the Fire Nation and she needs to be involved as well. Prince Zuko, who I thought had a very intriguing storyline within the animated series, and him being outcasted by his father and trying to find the Avatar, and how he is still trying to find that confidence within himself and trying to do the right thing as well. Very interesting storyline, but I like the character within here. Uncle Iroh is very welcoming, very stern as well. All of the characters that I liked within the animated series are translated nicely into this live action series, and they all contribute something to the show. There's enough development for them throughout 8 episodes, and they all work together. The series does a great job of building that friendship between Sokka, Katara, and Aang, and you feel like they are a very tight-knit group really early on in the series as well. The performances are really good. You get some of the emotional scenes pretty early on with Aang, and you feel that frustration of him being gone for 100 years and not be able to protect the people that he lived with. You see the development for Katara and Sokka and how they are growing as characters. One performance I was really impressed with is Dallas James Liu, who plays Prince Zuko. He is able to embody that character who's a little unsure of himself. He's still growing at times. He's a little whiny and wants people to respect him, but he still has to kind of earn that respect. He's unsure of his position in the Fire Nation and living up to his father's expectations and finding Aang. He's very angry at things and angry at himself, his father, and he's trying to conquer all of these feelings throughout the animated series that I saw in the live action series as well. So the performance right there I thought was easily the standout for me, as he was trying to navigate his feelings and who he really is. Gordon Cormier is great as Aang. Like I said, he's trying to figure out his purpose as the Avatar, but he does feel very lighthearted, which I loved in the animated series. In the movie, I remember it being very serious. And although this show is serious, there's enough lighthearted moments and whimsical scenes from Aang as he's having fun with his earth-bending skills, cracking jokes with Katara and Sokka. So I really like that performance, as he was able to easily balance the seriousness of being the Avatar, but also being very young and having fun with his friends. So I like that balance of the character within here. I was impressed with how they were just able to manage to capture the charm and feel of the animated series. Like I said, I have not watched it all, but I saw a good amount to recognize a lot of the storylines within this animated series and the character arcs, the personalities, the overall feel of that show I recognized within this Netflix series. And so it's so cool to see how they brought that forth, the action, the story arcs, the character developments. It all felt like Avatar within here. And that's one thing that Netflix has been unsuccessful with recently, is creating that same charm that these shows that they're trying to adapt, they miss that, and they do a great job of bringing that forth within this series. So I was really impressed with Avatar. I can't wait for more, as there's more storylines to bring, more story arcs. Story arcs were a bit restructured this time around, but it had a nice flow to it. Felt the urgency from the Fire Nation really early on, and how it affected Aang and Sokka and Katara, and exploring water bending and all the different characters that they come across, and doing the right thing and trying to save the world. You felt all of that really early on in the series. So if you like the animated series, I think there's like 60 plus episodes, I think you will like this Netflix series. It's restructured a bit differently, but still feels like Avatar: The Last Airbender. So before I give you my score for Avatar: The Last Airbender on Netflix, make sure to check out my channel. Here I do movie reviews, trailer reactions, ranking videos, tier lists, all that fun movie related content that you see on YouTube. I do it all here, so hit that subscribe button to get it all in one spot. I'm going to go ahead and give Avatar: The Last Airbender a B+. Thank you guys for checking out my review for Avatar: The Last Airbender on Netflix. Have you guys seen it by chance? What'd you think about it? Let me know in the comment section down below, and stay tuned for more up and coming content like this. My name is Just Watches Movies, and you guys stay classy, YouTube.